Hi, Jason. I thought I'd try something a little different and visual since we're talking about visual literacies. And I am going to talk about Rainstorm by Barbara Lehman and try to answer the questions. So I think this is hilarious because if you read my discussion topics this week, I talked about the fact that I'm not a visual learner and that I hate watching videos. But I make videos so much now for asynchronous lessons for my students that I'm very comfortable filming myself and making videos and editing them and what have you. I just still don't like to watch them. So anyway, here we go. I love this book from the first page. It's about a boy who is lonely on a rainy day, who can't relate to that, being a kid on a rainy day, not able to go outside. We don't know much about him other than he has quite a few toys, and his room looks very large, and he looks very bored. We don't see other characters for quite a while. And we learn that the house is pretty big. It's fancy and has these grand staircases, and you see a suit of armor in the background. So it's not just any ordinary house. Let me see. The media, this is interesting. It's a combination of watercolors, gouache, and ink. It seems appropriate, but the illustrations seem very flat. But that works somehow for a rainy day for me. There is no shadow. I think maybe that's kind of why it appears flat to me. The colors are muted for the rainy day, but of course, as we go on our adventure, we end up in a very colorful place with colorful people. What else? I think the use of these multi-paneled pages helps move the story along. I used to be afraid of wordless picture books when I was first a parent. I didn't know what to do with them. How do you narrate that? And learn to love them as an opportunity to kind of tell your own story, right? When you're reading a picture book, if it has a lot of words, you don't necessarily take the time out to say, okay, and what does this mean? And why does it look like that, right? In wordless picture books, you concentrate a lot more, I think, on the nuances of what the illustrator is trying to get across. How does the illustrator establish relationships between the viewer and the event's characters in the story? It's just compelling, right? This little boy who looks so lonely and then discovers this secret treasure chest that literally is full of treasures in a different dimension. Or maybe it takes him across the way. It's not clear. But it's charming. Looking at this, it looks a little bit like Tintin. If you look at some of the drawings, especially that little dog right there, kind of reminds me of the adventures of Tintin. And you can tell that the other characters are kind. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they're obviously very inviting to the little boy. So that's pretty neat. Framing, I think we talked about in the 6 or 8 panel pages, showing kind of a lapsed movement, right? This is what's happening next, and it's kind of for more of the action, right? When he's running down the stairs and through the hall, and you're seeing that kind of in small pictures rapidly. Whereas when he's like in a new environment, right, you're taking in the whole thing. It's kind of interesting. Offers and demands. That's interesting. I'm not sure in this if the if he looks straight. Oh, does he look straight at the camera when he's? No, not even here. I think. Well, nope. There's one where he looks straight at the camera. I was thinking of this shot where you get reinforced that he's obviously very wealthy in a big house, but he's kind of looking down. But right here, when he's remembering his day and you see that he still has the key, he is looking straight at the camera. So that's really interesting. Not a lot of humor, but definitely fun and play that you see with the other kids, and ending up, right, happy, playing, the lighthouse in the background, which makes me think it's less fantasy and more, I don't know how you, not reality really, but the other world was there all along, maybe. So I think I've hit on all the aspects that you asked us to look at. If not, I apologize, but thanks for the opportunity, and I hope you're doing well. Thanks. Bye-bye.